The US government is building an immigration detention system with more than 100,000 beds. And to do it quickly, it's turning to an unexpected place: industrial warehouses. These are facilities designed for logistics, for speed, and for scale. Some of these buildings are large enough to hold thousands of people under a single roof. What we're going to go over right now is what these warehouse-style detention centers do, how they work, where they are being built, and how private companies are helping construct one of the largest detention expansions in U.S. history. So you're probably asking yourself, what's being built right now? Well, to understand this, it helps to zoom out. ICE is in the middle of a nationwide expansion of immigration detention capacity. According to internal planning documents and federal reporting, the agency plans to add over 41,000 detention beds in a single year, pushing total capacity past 107,000 beds. This is not just about adding space to existing facilities. ICE is moving towards much larger detention centers, often referred to as mega facilities, many of them capable of holding 1,000 to 5,000 people or more. And instead of building entirely new structures from scratch, ICE is increasingly looking at existing industrial warehouses as the foundation, which really raises the next question: why warehouses? Well, from a planning perspective, warehouses offer several practical advantages. They're large, open, and designed to handle high volumes. They are often located near highways, airports, and logistics hubs, which matters for transportation and transfers. And they can be retrofitted much faster than building a new facility from the ground up. ICE planning documents describe how these warehouses would be converted to include housing units, medical areas, dining spaces, recreation areas, and administrative offices. This approach allows facilities to become operational in months instead of years. But warehouses are only one part of a much larger system. And that larger system includes a renewed logistics model. At the core of this expansion, it's going to be a shift in how detention is organized. Instead of relying on many smaller facilities spread across the country, ICE is moving toward a hub and spoke model. People are first held at short-term processing centers. From there, they are transferred to large regional detention hubs, often located near major transportation corridors. This makes it easier to coordinate staffing, services, and deportation flights. ICE officials have been unusually direct about this approach. At a border security conference, the acting director of ICE said the goal was to make deportations work like a modern delivery network, describing the vision as like Amazon Prime, but with human beings. ICE officials have described this model as a way to streamline operations and reduce inefficiencies. In simple terms, immigration detention is increasingly being structured like a logistics network. And building a network like that requires money, a lot of it. Which naturally brings us to the question of what's the scale of the budget? Well, this expansion is backed by a $45 billion budget already approved by Congress. That funding supports new and expanded detention facilities, temporary and permanent structures, transportation and charter flights, staffing, and daily operations. If fully implemented, the U.S. immigration detention system will be larger than any other in the world, both in capacity and geographic reach. But ICE does not build or operate most of these facilities directly, which brings us to the role of private companies. And that's because most immigration detention facilities in the United States are run by private contractors, not by ICE itself. Large private prison companies and facility management firms handle construction, staffing, food services, medical care, and security under federal contracts. Internal documents show that as detention capacity expands, these companies are expected to play an even larger role. In fact, some of the largest contractors are positioned to significantly increase their detention-related revenue as new facilities come online. ICE has already awarded tens of millions of dollars in design and planning contracts, including work specifically focused on warehouse-style mega facilities. In effect, immigration detention operates as a public-private partnership with an infrastructure, logistics, and daily operations largely outsourced point of view. All of this brings us back to the bigger picture, which is whether someone supports or opposes these policies, the scale of what is being built is hard to ignore. The opportunities for both large and small businesses doing federal contracting is plentiful. More than 100,000 detention beds are going to be built. Facilities measured in thousands of occupants. Warehouses repurposed into detention centers. A system organized around logistics, infrastructure, and speed. This is not just a policy adjustment. It is a structural shift in how immigration detention is designed and managed in the United States, and is already underway. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, make sure to post them below. We try to answer every single comment. Please subscribe and like this video. It really helps us build the channel. If you want, reach out to us at squaredcompass.com if you're looking at growing or winning work inside of the government markets.